Welcome back to the UK Tonight. Let's bring you some breaking news now from Southport. A large crowd has gathered outside a mosque in Southport, with tensions running high in the town following yesterday's knife attack. Police riot vans and officers have been standing guard outside the building, with reports of clashes between police and demonstrators. There are also reports from the scene that a police van has been set on fire. And this comes as the Home Secretary earlier warned people not to spread disinformation following yesterday's stabbing attack. Well, in the last few minutes, Merseyside police have just released this statement. Let me read it to you. We can confirm officers are dealing with a disturbance during a protest in Southport this evening. At around 7:45 p.m, a large group of people, believed to be supporters of the English Defence League, began to throw items towards a local mosque on St Luke's Road in Southport. Officers who are deployed are currently dealing with criminal behaviour and violence, with bottles and wheelie bins being thrown at them. As a result, an officer has suffered a suspected broken nose, and police vehicles have been damaged and set alight. Additional patrols are now in attendance, including the dog section. Assistant Chief Constable Alex Goss said it is sickening to see this happening within a community that has been devastated by the tragic loss of 3 young lives. In the last 24 hours, we have seen overwhelming support and sympathy from the community and wider Merseyside communities for the families who are currently trying to deal with their loss and care for victims injured during the major incident. Yesterday, our officers and other members of the emergency services were faced with one of the most difficult situations they will ever face. Tonight, they find themselves being attacked as they endeavour to prevent disorder. The actions in Southport tonight will involve many people who do not live in the Merseyside area or care about the people of Merseyside. There has been much speculation and hypothesis around the status of a 17-year-old male who is currently in police custody, and some individuals are using this to bring violence and disorder to our streets. We have already said that the person arrested was born in the UK, and speculation helps nobody at this time. Our officers should not have to face this, but we will be there tonight to ensure the safety of the local community who have suffered enough, and will arrest those involved in criminal behaviour. So that is a statement that we have received in the past few minutes from Merseyside Police. Well, let's speak to Sky's Amelia Harper. She joins me now from the newsroom with more information. Quite a strong statement there from Merseyside Police. What more can you tell us?
Absolutely. Well, this is potentially developing into quite a serious...
More than 100 individuals have been detained in London as additional protests erupted across the nation following the Southport stabbings. Violent incidents have occurred throughout Britain, including disturbances in Hartlepool, Manchester and Aldershot. The Prime Minister will meet with senior police officials at Downing Street on Thursday afternoon in response to the widespread violence. He is anticipated to stress that those who misuse the right to protest, to incite hatred or engage in violence should face the full weight of the law. Sir Keir Starmer will also pledge to collaborate with police forces across the UK to prevent senseless violence following the unrest in Southport, London, Hartlepool and other locations. In London, a significant protest labelled Enough is Enough saw arrests after demonstrators clashed with officers in Whitehall on Wednesday. The Metropolitan Police reported that over 100 individuals have been arrested for offences such as violent disorder, assault on an emergency worker and breaching protest conditions. Several officers sustained minor injuries. Protesters were observed throwing beer cans and glass bottles at a line of riot police in front of Downing Street and tossing flares onto the Winston Churchill statue in Parliament Square. The heated scenes included chants of "We want our country back" and "Oh, Tommy Robinson," referencing the right-wing activist. In Hartlepool, police faced missiles, glass, bottles and eggs, according to Cleveland police. A police car was set on fire during the violence after a large crowd gathered in the Murray Street area of Hartlepool on Wednesday evening. In Manchester, protesters assembled in large numbers outside the Holiday Inn Hotel on Oldham Road around 6 p.m, as reported by the Manchester Evening News. Approximately 40 people, including children and men, wearing balaclavas, gathered outside the Oldham Road Hotel in what appeared to be a protest against asylum seekers housed there.
Just going to take you to Downing Street, just outside Downing Street, in fact, where there are protests underway involving a right-wing group called Enough is Enough. As you can see, scuffles have broken out with police after the protesters threw flares towards the gates of Downing Street. And this demonstration taking place in the wake of the murders and the subsequent riot in Southport. Basically, a few hundred protesters chanting "Rule Britannia, save our kids, stop the boats," and they attempted to leave a zone, an area that was cordoned off for them. And when they left that pavement opposite Downing Street, in defiance.
In Aldershot, local MP Alex Baker condemned the violence in her community on social media, asserting that there is no excuse for disorderly behaviour and that the scenes do not represent Aldershot and Farnborough. She has been in communication with Hampshire Police regarding a major incident at Potter's International Hotel in Aldershot, where a peaceful protest turned into intimidating behaviour. She visited the scene and has been in touch with the Chief Inspector. This incident was worsened by outsiders who came with the intent to cause unrest. She commended the brave police officers who worked hard to restore order. Disorderly conduct is inexcusable and does not reflect Aldershot and Farnborough. They all support the right to peaceful protest, but will not tolerate outsiders coming to their towns to incite trouble and divide the community. Cleveland police also reported making 8 arrests for various offences, including public order and affray, following the Hartlepool violence on Wednesday, with more arrests anticipated. Road closures have been lifted, but a visible police presence remains in the area. Chief Superintendent David Sutherland stated that they believe the protest is linked to the earlier incident in Southport. Their officers have faced missiles, glass bottles and eggs and have made arrests while remaining in the area to ensure community safety.
We won't go out.
I'm asking you to please tell him to come away. I can't even take them out anymore in case they get stabbed. I had to change all my plans for these children who can't go anywhere in case they get stabbed. You're here harassing us.
arresting me! You're arresting me!
In Manchester, local councillor John Flanagan denounced the violence on social media, calling those involved mindless idiots. He condemned the attacks on innocent asylum seekers who have not caused any issues or problems and have been in a place of safety. It's appalling that they are being targeted because of their race or religion, and he hopes this isn't connected to the disgraceful events in Southport where a mosque was attacked last night. These thugs are attacking innocent people. His initial response is to contact GMP and support them. The entire city and reasonable people will be appalled and disgusted by these actions. Idiots is too mild a term. He hopes the police enforce the law fully. They cannot let their country and city descend into chaos driven by social media madness.
Now, a 17-year-old boy is in custody and will be questioned by police after a horrific knife attack near Liverpool, which left 2 children dead and 9 injured, 6 of them critically. 2 adults are also in a critical condition. The attack happened at a building housing a summer holiday club on Hart Street in Southport, where a children's dance and yoga class was being held. The victims were taken to the Aldershot Children's Hospital, Aintree University Hospital and Southport and Formey Hospital. Our North of England correspondent Claire Fallon reports, and be warned, there are distressing details in her report.
The scale of the emergency response tells us something about the awfulness of what happened here this morning. So too does where it happened, at a Taylor Swift-themed yoga class in the school summer holidays. And then there are the words of those who were here, who saw children with stab wounds, some running, some needing to be carried out onto this street.
I didn't actually see the guy do it, but virtually seen everything else. Everything, all the young girls lying on the floor, bleeding. It's like a nightmare. You want to just save them, do you know what I mean?
Colin Parry's garage is on the street where it happened. He told me he called 999, asking them to send as many police and paramedics as possible.
One of my business colleagues is phoning me, you need to get out here now. And I went out and he literally was carrying a young girl covered in blood. He's covered in blood, trying to look after her, keep her alive. And then some of the neighbours were bringing others out, but some had already got out with another girl. So I'm on the phone before I'd really seen all this for the police. You need to come now. You need to come now. Bring everybody. We want as many ambulances as you can get. I don't know how many girls were left in that building. He was still in there. And I thought, God, it's going to kill them all. You know, so it's like a nightmare. The biggest horrific thing you could ever witness in your life, seeing little kids like that.
This afternoon, police confirmed those being treated for knife wounds do include children. Witnesses have said they counted 4 air ambulances arrive. The North West Ambulance Service said the injured were taken to 3 hospitals in the area, including Aldershot Children's Hospital in Liverpool, where a major incident was declared.
I know the whole House will be very concerned at the extremely serious incident that has taken place in Southport. All of our thoughts will be with the family and loved ones of those who are affected. and
This follows the eruption of violence in Southport on Tuesday after a vigil for 3 girls killed in a knife attack at a Taylor Swift-themed holiday club. Southport police officers sustained serious injuries from thrown bricks, stones and bottles, and cars were set ablaze during the protests. The disorder near the town's mosque was fueled by false online rumours about the suspect. To prevent another night of rioting, Merseyside police were given extra powers under Section 60 of the Criminal Justice and Public Order Act 1994 to stop and search people suspected of carrying weapons. Community Inspector Doug Chadwick said the public was shocked and disappointed by the disgraceful rioting and urged the public to provide information about what they witnessed. 5 people have been arrested so far, with 53 officers and 3 police dogs injured during the unrest.
Yes, in northwest England overnight have injured dozens of British police officers. This happened in Southport, the same town where a 17-year-old man is accused of killing 3 young girls and wounding several others in a stabbing attack at a dance class. The protests were fueled by online speculation that the suspect was a Muslim migrant. Police say he was born in the UK, but they did not disclose anything more about him. Daniel Stamford from our partners at the BBC joins us now from Southport, England. So Daniel, who do authorities say was behind yesterday's violent protests and who are they targeting?
Yeah, the quiet of this town was shocked by screams of children on Monday morning, but then ruined by the sounds of rioting last night. And the police are saying that those responsible were supporters of what's known as the English Defence League. That's a far-right group that has campaigned against Muslims in this country for quite a few years now. And they had put it out that the suspect in this attack was a Muslim and a migrant, when in fact, not only was he born in this country, but it seems almost certain that he wasn't of the Muslim faith either. But what we saw were police officers being hit in the head by rocks, blood pouring from their heads despite the shields and the helmets that they were wearing. We saw officers limping from the scene, and in all 53 officers were injured last night, and 12 of them ended up being taken to hospital because of the seriousness of their injuries, and 4 people have been detained so far, and the police chief has promised there'll be more to follow.
And Daniel, the new British Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, has condemned these violent clashes with police. They came shortly after a vigil for the victims. What is he vowing to do now, and what's the British response to this increase in knife attacks?
Well, first of all, he's promised that those responsible for the violence last night will face the full force of the law. In terms of the offence on Monday, the really horrible, gruesome events on Monday when a man went into a Taylor Swift-themed dance class and stabbed numerous girls who are under 10, 3 of whom were killed and many of whom are still in critical condition in hospital. It was already a priority for Keir Starmer, the new Prime Minister, to tackle knife crime. He said that's going to be one of the missions of his government, and of course that's only going to increase. And one of the things they're talking about, for example, is banning the sale online of so-called zombie knives or hunting knives, knives which are designed really for killing rather than for use in the kitchen.
All right, Daniel Sandford.
The unrest follows the charging of a 17-year-old boy with the murders of the 3 girls. Alice Da Silva Aguiar, 9, BB King, 6, and Elsie Dot Stankham, 7, were fatally stabbed on Monday when a knifeman attacked a dance class on Hart Street in Southport, Merseyside. 8 other children were injured, with 5 in critical condition, and 2 adults were also critically hurt. The 17-year-old has been remanded in custody to appear on Thursday, August 1st at Liverpool Magistrates Court, Derby Square. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and for more content like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel.